Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So another famous Sahabiya was Sumayya, Ammar, the mother of Ammar ibn Yasir, right? They went through great difficulties in Mecca, and alhamdulillah, her son Ammar ibn Yasir survived, and and he managed to convey hadith to us, etc. But Ammar, she did not. She did not survive. She was in a very difficult situation, and they were tortured and they were abused greatly. And she was actually, this is really interesting, she was actually the very first shaheed in Islam. She's the very first shaheed in Islam. The very first person who really took the blow for the sake of Islam was Ammar. So, women don't count, right? We keep saying this point, it's very obvious. The Sahaba, they saw this day in, day out. The amazing strength of the iman of the women around them, right? And Mujahid said that. Mujahid, the student of Ibn Abbas, he said the very first martyr in Islam was Ammar. Abu Jahl, la'anahullah, stabbed her with a spear in her private parts. So you see how low this is. You see how low the kuffar are, right? This is what happens. It's just like subhanallah. And it's worth noting this because the ummah is bleeding, right? The ummah is in tears. The ummah is bleeding right now. And one of the things that we really feel is like where we're being defended. So it's important to understand. Sometimes we give up. We say like, well, there's no defense for us. There's nothing. We have no honor. We have nothing. And it's important to understand that these are the stages that we go through. At that time, in Mecca, that's what happened. Here was a woman who was brutally killed and dishonored killed in a very low way. And where were the men to protect her? There were no men to protect her at that time. She died as a shaheed. There are times in history where that happens, where the ummah is weak militarily, politically, and the ummah cannot defend itself. And people will die as martyrs, and that's important. That's part of their high rank. That's part of the process. And there are other times when there are people to defend, and that's to be done. But it's very important to understand that we will go through stages where you or I or other people will suffer greatly for the sake of Islam. And we have to be prepared to do that. We have to ready ourselves to do that because it's only going to get harder. Right? Holding on to the truth is only going to get harder.